Comair announcing that all its Kulula and British Airways flights have been suspended from this morning.
So joining us now is aviation analyst Phuthego Mojapele, joins us via our video link this morning. Phuthego, I and hundreds others are fuming this morning given this 11th hour, literally 11th hour grounding by Kulula. Should we have known better?
Yes, certainly. I think it was quite evident that Comair's problems have degenerated badly. And I think their communication was a little bit bad. Also, they just did not do or learn from the past when they were grounded by sending a signal. Surely, if you know that you're not going to have money for the next month, at least you should sensitize your available customers. If you really value them or value their business, you should have done better. And I just think that they were really acting in bad faith here because they just left customers stranded.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
how did you announce that immediate suspension when there was imminent signals that you might not be able to fly them?
Yeah, who knows whether Kulula will be able to recover from this complete, surely, loss of trust from their consumers. Now, in fact, I'll give you one better, Phuthego. Kulula was running a sale on their online bookings up until last night. They had a sale for flights from the 31st of May 2022 until the end of the year. That sale would have ended a minute to midnight last night. They made the announcement of the grounding at 11:05. When would they have known that this grounding could have been a possibility?
Well, I think their communication was quite badly. One is that when you're running a special, it should be coming from, obviously, from your people, from the finance and other marketing people. But at the same time, the board of Comair and the executive, they knew very well. I mean, they are sitting on these meetings every single day, and they knew very well that things are not going to be rosy for them going forward. And I just don't believe that it would have been something that was not planned. They did it intentionally to confuse the whole thing. And there cannot be something that happened just overnight and they take a decision based on that.
I mean, what you're saying is incredibly serious. Was this a ploy? Was this sale a ploy by Kulula, by Comair as a whole, for more bookings and more money, knowing full well what was to come?
Yeah, they were trying to get as much as they can from the customers so that they can utilize that money to keep on going. But then it probably didn't materialize, and they realized that, hang on, we can't go on like this, so we're going to have to ground and keep trying to secure more funding from elsewhere. But, you don't secure funding when the crisis is already imminent. When the crisis is in your hands, you don't go out on the market and say, listen, we've got a problem, help us here so that we can be able to fly. It doesn't work like that. You plan these things well in advance. But let me just say this. I think the problems of Comair started when Eric Venter left that company. That's when Comair started falling, basically going down. And I just don't think they will recover out of this. We have seen companies falling from the skies, and they are just one of those. And it's unfortunate that it happening to a 75-year-old company that has been operating in South Africa.
I mean, to add insult to injury, people who were allowed to book on Kulula.com and British Airways up until 11:05 last night, when the announcement of the grounding was made, they now don't get a refund. They don't get their money back. If indeed Comair does take to the skies again, they will get a voucher. I mean, surely people are entitled to getting the money that they paid to a company that knew full well they would not be in the skies from the 1st of June. They should be getting their money back.
Yeah, they should be getting their money back, surely. I mean, if you announce 1 minute after you made a booking, surely that should be reversed immediately, because clearly you're not going to be honoring what the people are buying. But also what needs to happen here is that we need to have a very serious, strong consumer authorities that can deal with this, because these airlines continue to do this, taking money from consumers that they don't have and offer them vouchers when they could have, utilized it to buy tickets with other airlines, and they would not do that. They simply will never do that until probably they decided otherwise. But that the refund is not going to happen anytime soon, and we must just make peace with it. That is not going to happen any soon. But that's where you need government to step in and say it can't happen. That you knew very well what was going to happen, but you just take money from people. It's like robbing people, knowing very well that you are doing that intentional.
No, it's daylight robbery. And in fact, there are hundreds of people, I'm sure, that are stranded this morning, looking for their return flight, which they are unable to now take because Comair has been grounded. They now have to go out and fork out additional funds. And who is in a position to do that in this economy?
Nobody is. And in fact, to be honest with you, the prices are going to be very high starting from this morning. If you were going to try and get to Cape Town, anywhere where Kulula and Comair fly into, you are going to pay a lot because there's quite a number of services that are available. And that's where you think that SAA and other airlines should really step up their games and just make sure that they finish with whatever that they're doing with Takatso and get back on the skies to try and salvage this, because consumers are going to continue paying a lot. You will not get anything cheaper on the flights from now on going forward, based on this grounding of Comair. They have now widened the gap, plus the fuel prices that is very high. So consumers must just tighten their belts, and it's not going to be rosy any longer.
Organizations like Discovery Vitality, who we know partners with Kulula for discounted flights, surely this is a reputational damage to an entity like Discovery as well.
Yeah, it is, absolutely, because they've been very much unfaithful to the relationship, and once you are becoming unfaithful to the relationship, I mean, who else is going to trust you going forward? Surely they are really upset probably where they are, because their names at stake, and the Discovery has done very well in the past, and I'm sure that they are also looking at it closely and monitoring it for further recourse from Comair.
Just an absolutely appalling situation. Phuthego Mojapele, let me thank you for your time this morning. We are also trying to get in touch with the CEO of Comair, Glenn Osmond. We've been trying to get in touch with him since news broke of this grounding overnight. For now, we've been in touch with a PR agency who we understand is in charge of comms for Comair, for Kulula and British Airways as well, and we've been unsuccessful. But if he is watching, Glenn Osmond, we'd like to talk to you quite urgently.